What's the biggest challenge you ever overcame in your life? And he paused. He had great strengths, great weaknesses. And then he got the challenge and he's like, well, I really haven't shared this with a lot of people, but I'm sure like you lost track of me for like the last year or so. And really it was because I spent the last year overcoming my crystal meth addiction. And I was like, what?
What? Are you serious?
I like sat there.
You said that in an interview?
Literally said that in an interview. And I was just like,
oh.
And I could just feel like Rachel like looking at me from the side of her head.
You're like, don't make eye contact. Don't make eye
like,
contact.
Oh. Wow.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the Bullpen Podcast hosted by Torian Consulting. I'm Sonia Pedowick.
I'm Bobby Watkins.
And I'm Misty Rodriguez.
Each week we'll be bringing you different episodes about fintech and talent.
It's going to be exciting to be able to talk about these topics in depth, to be able to bring you guests, to be able to dive into topics on recruiting, mental health, the job market, new technologies, and of course, everything happening in our beloved city of Las Vegas.
Do you want a job or not?
Let's grab the bull by the horns. Welcome back to the Bullpen Podcast. I'm your co-host, Sonia Pedowick, with my co-host. I'm the co-host with the co-host. We're co-hosting together.
We have a real person. It's not us. Misty Rodriguez.
And today we are...
Well, it's a mix of things. So it's like
today's our blooper session.
Yes. Or like those stories that we can't believe why we do what we do. Because some days you sit there and you think,
did that really happen?
Is it time to retire?
Yeah.
I say that every year, and every year I'm like, okay, this is going to be the year we're doing fun stuff. And it's like, oh, we are doing fun stuff. So
craziest interviews ever.
Not just interviews, but like the conversations we have. So I think sometimes, and nothing wrong with it, by all means, I enjoy every single conversation. Some candidates take it a little too far.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just thought of like a really awkward one. I was running late to this interview actually. And the whole thing just started off crazy. There was like traffic and we were in a very tiny interview room and it was really bizarre and very conservative interviewer. And the candidate at one point had a nickname Tasmanian Devil because he was just like, bzzz.
Oh my goodness.
And he worked for a couple of times. He was a CCIE, which is very high certification in network engineering, hard to obtain.
There's not a lot of them to go around.
He was a very smart individual. And he was interviewing as they were opening some new properties and they needed to do network.
Okay.
Topography, architecture, design. And everyone on the network engineering team was also wicked smart, right? So it was a really interesting interview because they had interviewed a number of people who I also thought were smart. And my candidate there was 3 candidates of ours and another candidate that I had asked to interview, but someone else had presented him, who I also was another CCIE. But he was
find 2.
I didn't find the second one. I found the second one, but he was represented by someone else. But he was also wicked smart too. I was like, oh my gosh! But he was also very awkward. Like he was very awkward on the phone, and so I kind of thought, well, they might not interview him because he was challenged personally on the phone. I was like, oh, he's personality. I don't know. And so I learned he moved out of the. And so my 3 candidates moved forward. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then my 1 candidate got to the final. And so this was like a final interview. And then the highest consultant for the network was on the phone. He couldn't be in the interview. And I was like, oh my God, this is just getting harder. So a bunch of us are crammed in this tiny little room. I was allowed to sit in on the interview. And then they called the technical interviewer person who was in a closet. And so it was loud. So my candidate's in the room and the person who's doing part of the technical was on the speakerphone. And then the person who was doing the technical was asking my candidate, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate yourself in this area? Which I knew my candidate hated 1 to 10. He had told me early in the interview, he's like, I hate when interviewers, because like in my preps, I'm like, what kind of questions don't you like? So I can help you navigate through it. He's like, I don't like when people ask me how to rate myself on a scale of 1 to 10. It's like my biggest pet peeve in interviews. So as soon as the interviewer asked that, I was like, oh shit, right? And so my candidate was like, I don't really like those kind of questions. He's like, well, I need you to answer that. Just tell me. And my candidates, those are really just like subjective or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, just pick a number. And they kind of did this back and forth. And I'm like shooting darts at my candidate. Like, we talked about this. Just say 7 or 8. Right? Like just land there, because then he'll ask you a 7, 8 question. You'll do great, and he'll go up from there.
Yeah.
And then the
And
client,
move on.
right, and move on. And so then the client's like, well, I need to know where to start asking you a question. So just give me a number, which I knew, right? That's probably what the guy was going to say. And my candidate was like digging his heels in. And then the client goes, why won't you just give me a number? And my candidate's like, well, I don't know what your, level of rating is. It might be different than mine. And, what if I give like a 8 and your 8 is different than my 8, and then I've just gone and stepped on my dick. And I was like, what? Like, he said that in the room. And then the director who's in the room too was like, whoa, there's a lady in the room. And I'm just like,
oh.
And so then I was late to the interview. I was running late to the interview, right? And the reason I was late to the interview was because I got pulled over for speeding.
Oh my gosh.
So then I was like, oh my gosh, to the manager. I'm like, listen, I just was late to the interview because I got pulled over for speeding, and the expletives coming out of my mouth were way worse than that. Like trying to pull air back into the room, all the air got sucked out of the room. And so
with that comment,
right,
it's like you're in an interview.
I'm looking at my candidate like, we talked about this, like give a number. So he finally gives a number. He's like 8.
Well, now it's over though.
Yeah. So then
It's
they finally
thanks.
went back and forth, and he answered. And of course, my candidate nails it. He's super smart. He nailed, and everybody's like, okay, now on to this 8, on to this 8, and he answers all the questions. And at the end, we all leave or whatever. And the director's like, God, this guy's great. He's really smart. He nailed all the technical, but he's a jerk. We can't ever have him work in our environment.
Oof.
He's like someone who would talk like that in front of a lady could never be on our team.
Oh, man.
It was so awful. I was just like, and I told the candidate, I'm like, why would you do that? Like, first of all, we talked about that. Second of all, you never use profanity in an interview.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
You
You
never
gotta
use
keep
profanity in an interview.
Yeah.
I don't care how comfortable everyone gets. I don't care if you're out at a bar. I don't care what. You just never use profanity in an interview. It was the most awkward interview ever. And the director is devout, religious, very I think he married his high school sweetheart. He's very conservative, whatever. And he was like, and at the end, he's like, I'm so sorry. Like that. It was so offensive. And I was like, this guy really doesn't know me.
Well, that's the thing, right?
The shit
Thank
that comes
you.
out of my mouth, right?
Yeah, I was like, but
oh.
they don't know how we scream sometimes when we hang up the phones. And
It was mortifying.
Oh
The
my
whole thing was so uncomfortable.
gosh.
I was like, my hair was curly from sweat. I was like, this is embarrassing. I did end up placing the guy, and he did get a CCIE, and he did a bunch of really cool work for me at another property. But I was like, God damn it. So stupid.
Oh my god!
And it was the room was already small, and it just got smaller. They didn't, and it was you should have just ended the interview, do 2 technical questions. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for coming.
It went through the whole interview.
Well, I mean, at least they
interview.
went by HR compliancy, I guess, or
I don't know.
compliance.
He went through the
Compliance
whole,
award.
because I had been through 2 other technical. I was like, oh, they're going to do the whole damn interview. Yeah. They're not going to hire him and do the whole interview.
Speaking of that kind of how we get to sit in on interviews, but I never see HR.
Ever.
I never see HR sit in on interviews when really, I mean, they're not technical to begin with. You know what I mean? Like tech recruiting, you could learn so much just from sitting, in the interview.
I don't think that they
write things down, go look them up later, or just not that vested, I guess. But at the end of the day, that's how I learned
That's
a
not
lot of
what
my
they're trained.
stuff.
Yeah, they're not trained to do that part of the process for companies. It's not the corporate culture to do that.
It's weird because it should be.
Yeah.
You could really help your teams.
What's your most embarrassing?
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't even know where to start. I don't know if it's embarrassing or just all the. You kind of learn, when you first get into recruiting.
Yeah.
Especially tech recruiting. I mean, we've got some really funny, weird stories, right?
Yeah.
Because tech people, you all are like, I love you. You know what I
Interesting.
mean? Oh yeah, hardcore.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fun part is you get to learn about each one of them. Their different quirks and
Yeah.
their different, how they're just different from each
Yeah.
other. I mean, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. The one that really comes to my mind at the moment is when I pulled up for an interview. And at the time, I wasn't like a full cycle. I was just strictly recruiting, but I was filling in because my team at the time had left to go to Texas. So I was filling in as the account manager, and everything in between. And I pull up and she's standing out front smoking, like right in front of the door, you know what I mean, to the walk in for the interview. And I was like, my face. I'm
Sally, I'm here for
and
my
I'm fine with
interview.
you smoking. I don't even, I mean, I grew up in Vegas, like the casinos reek.
Yeah, but you're right outside the client.
The door was right there, like,
Ugh.
and she's, and I'm like sitting in my car like this, just staring, like, okay,
Yeah.
don't take a deep breath because you're going to choke. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it was like,
Yeah, that's not good.
because then you walk in
You smell
and
like
she
smoke.
smells like smoke.
Yeah.
And
And the first thing you're going to do is go, hi.
yeah, and they remember smell with like the person. Yeah, they associate. So
yeah.
that's why I don't wear like perfumes and stuff like that when we
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
meetings, unless I want you to remember me.
Yeah.
That's a hint. Hey.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. There's been so many over the years. I can't even. But I think my most fun parts are like when you meet with people after hours.
Yeah.
Like when we do happy hours and we do, because you really get to know them.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? In different aspects. And you're just like,
Yeah, smoking. That's like a
How-
tough one too, because it's like, I'm sure it's like part of like their process to like unnerve or get settled, but not in front of.
oh no, not in front of a client.
No,
I'm
early.
all for, cocktails and things like that. And
Yeah.
we're getting to the nitty gritty of life. But
Yeah.
if you're coming to an interview
Yeah.
and I'm meeting you there, we're both dressed for the,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The whole thing.
And I remember meeting someone at like Caesars off of like right by the airport there. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you like okay? And he was like, yeah, it's like, I didn't realize like how far I'd have to like get to this building from the bus. And I was like, the bus? I was like, why didn't you tell me?
Oh my God.
like
I could've picked
August.
you up. Oh,
And
Vegas.
like at my heaviest, I was probably 100 pounds heavier than I am now. And this person was that plus some. And I was like, oh my God, you should have like told me. I would have given you a ride to this interview, because the poor person was like profusely sweating. And I was like, oh my gosh, we need to go inside. Let me get you some water. You need to like cool down.
let me get you a little wet nap there so you
I
can.
felt so bad. I was like, I
dabble.
wish you would have told me. I literally would have given you a ride from the bus stop, from your home. Like, you need to communicate in the future. You need to tell me you need a ride.
Yeah. Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted you to come uncomfortable
Yeah.
to an interview. Like,
Yeah.
that would have been I would have paid for an Uber. I would have driven you. I felt so horrible. There's like the bus system in Vegas is not conducive for
lacking.
like door to door.
Oh my gosh. Let that be
No. And in August,
you heard it here first.
for gosh sakes, I
August.
felt so horrible. The guy got the job, thank God, but that was incredibly uncomfortable for him to have to navigate that. And I was like, all you would have had to do is been like, I need help, or plan to be there an hour earlier so
Yeah.
you could cool down.
Yeah.
In Vegas heat, anywhere between May and September, you got to know better to not.
Oh yeah. you would think they would know.
Yeah.
But,
Oh my God, I felt so horrible for that person.
but I mean, like props for the dedication.
Yeah.
Took the bus in Vegas, August. I
Yeah.
mean, we're not known for our, it's the sun is.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
I gotta give
John.
him credit just for
Yeah.
making the effort to go, though. I mean, that's impressive.
Oh my gosh, I just thought of another one too. When I was working for the place we both worked for years ago, we were actually looking for a recruiter. Oh my gosh, I'll never forget this. And the branch manager came over and we were doing interviews, and her name was Rachel. And she, oh my God, we were interviewing back to back, like recruiters. And her favorite question, which, people don't really ask like this anymore, thank God, was like, what's the biggest challenges, like your strength, your weaknesses, right? Whatever.
That's a tough one, too.
this guy-
Even I struggle with it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
He came from the Las Vegas Visitor Convention Center. He was a salesperson for like the Visitor Convention Center. He did sales for there. He's really eccentric, really cute guy. I like met him because I had worked clerical staffing and I was staffing at the Visitor Convention. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is like a doll, like super fun. Would be fun to like work with, right? And I lost track of him for maybe 9 months to like a year. And then he popped back up on my radar and she was like, who do you know for like sales? We're opening a new division, like labor. And I was like, oh, I think this guy would be like great. And so they were opening this new division, new branch. And so she had me sit on in these interviews. And we interviewed a ton of people one day. And he had come in and she would be like, what's your strengths? What's your weaknesses? What's the biggest challenge you ever overcame in your life? And he paused. He had great strengths, great weaknesses. And then he got to the challenge and he's like, well, I really haven't shared this with a lot of people, but I'm sure like you lost track of me for like the last year or so. And really it was because I spent the last year overcoming my crystal meth addiction. And I was like, what?
What? Are you serious?
I like sat there.
He said that in an interview?
Literally said that in an interview. And I was just like,
oh.
and I could just feel like Rachel like looking at me from the side of her head.
You're like, don't make eye contact. Don't make eye
was like,
contact.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Like you didn't mention that in like my reconnection, yeah, I just reconnected with you and like, oh my God, like where have you been? Like didn't mention that at all. And I
You're
was
like looking through your notes real quick. Like, I don't
and I'm
remember
like
this
literally
coming up.
like, do not make eye contact, do not make eye contact. And
Run.
he tells this whole
Run out of the
story,
room.
how he like recovered and he's been sober for like 9 months. And I
that's
was like,
that's awesome. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But
we finished the interview and she's like, did you forget to mention that? I'm like, he forgot to mention, he never mentioned that. And like it counts for the year. I haven't
that's
seen
a
him.
pretty big. That's a
was like,
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a good one too. I'm trying to think. Well, there's so many.
That's why I'm like my brain all of a sudden is like I don't remember. There's so many because like I don't even know where to start. If I wrote down everything, like this is why we should write books. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
I know.
would read this book if
Oh
I
my
were
gosh, so
because
funny.
you can't believe the kind of stuff you hear some days. You're just
Yeah.
like,
And that's why we prep people too. It's like,
Cool.
well, what questions are you going to ask the manager? Here's some questions that we think will come up. And it probably
stick to the list.
Yeah,
Just
don't
please
you
stick to the
probably
list.
Don't want to talk about, or here's a way to talk about that in a positive way. We don't want you to lie. We don't want you to misrepresent. But clearly, I probably wouldn't have involved him in the interview. You know, I
Or
wouldn't have
just don't bring it up.
Yeah, or
Let's
like,
just say you were
that's
studying abroad even.
Yeah,
I
good
mean,
for
don't
you,
lie,
but
but
yeah.
you know, just say you took a year off. I mean, we get that. There's a lot
I
of
would
that
have
going
probably
on.
prepared her for that had I known.
Told her ahead of
Yeah,
time.
I was just like, oh my God.
By the way,
Yeah.
wink.
Oh my God, that was fun. And then it is interesting, like when managers like interview people and we get to sit on all of those and like they don't interview really. Like they
Oh.
talk a lot or
Or don't make eye contact.
don't make eye contact or like they
That's
have
my
like their
favorite
camera
one.
up and it's like looking
Just the
down.
headshot. And you're like, your head looks very nice today. Your forehead's looking clean. All right, yeah. Or they ask the same questions and you
Yeah.
laugh because you're like, what is
Yeah.
like? What does that have to do with
For that whole interview, you got what out of it and you still want to hire them? Oh, okay.
or not enough? And you're just
It's
like,
like-
were we sitting in the same interview? Because what I just saw, I was going, thumbs down. It's my,
Yeah.
thumbs down. It's like,
Really? That's interesting. That was your takeaway. Okay. Or like they have a camera on like their side, like our candidates like look there.
the mirrors, or they're like this.
Yeah.
over here, but the camera's like right, and you're like,
You're in IT.
what are you looking at? It's like, oh my gosh, or my favorite one. Yes, the camera doesn't work.
Yeah. Like we tested it.
All of a sudden, your camera, you
You
are
are
IT.
IT.
I mean, like, this is 101. I know how to like troubleshoot.
Yeah.
And if you call me and ask me questions about troubleshooting, I'm going to hang up. So,
Yeah. Get it together.
like,
Figure it
yeah,
out.
it's
That-
like-
that's so interesting.
They
They come
ask
and they're
questions.
like, who am I interviewing? I haven't even looked at the resume. And you're like, oh my God, this is awesome.
I got the one that we just recently did. I'm not even going to be too specific, but like, I was laughing so hard because on mute, because it was just like, what is happening here? Like, I'm thinking in my head going, this is bombing. This is the worst. But then it's like,
We loved
but it's so
him.
awkward. And yet here
Yeah.
we are. Like they laughed at like the dumbest stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
you're just like,
He'll be
what?
perfect.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Let's hire him.
okay. Like he's a great person. But like what I just saw, I was like,
Oh boy.
we're sinking. Bring it back around. You can do this. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I can't give you clues, you know?
Yeah.
So
They're
anyway.
fun. It makes it really interesting. So
Oh yeah.
because I'm trying to think 20 years, 30. How long have I been doing this now? If I had to do the math,
Mine is 12.
30
12?
years. Yeah, something like that. That's like our little beep. But I guess our point is we can save you from a lot of trouble and we can coach you through these awkward moments. And it's not easy out there in the job market.
Nope.
So if you want help,
tough.
if you want support, and you want to save some of these embarrassing moments and not share your addiction or trouble or, navigate through some of the more challenging, they say the hardest times are moving, divorce and finding a job, right? Let us help you navigate your job search. Contact us in the show notes. All of our links are there.
My face.
Torian can help you with your next job search for sure. Join us on our next show at The Bullpen.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us in The Bullpen, hosted by TCG. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with someone who you think might benefit. Also, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on our next episodes. Do you want a job or not?